All right, welcome back. Let's get a check of that forecast on an eventful day, Sanshria.
Thank you very much, Ira. And yes, we're going to go ahead and dive right into it here. So there is so much wind outside. There's actually been a lot of dust that's been lofted and thrown across the plains. So Pueblo County, down through Walsenburg, Aguilar, Trinidad, all the way out through the plains and the San Luis Valley, dust thrown around enough where this could obscure your vision when you're driving, and there's been some brownout conditions reported along Highway 50 in particular. Now, wind weather, that's been kind of our big story through the day. Dangerous wind gusts have been reported outside. Blowing dust, as we just talked about, is an issue. Now that we've started to move past the 12 o'clock hour, it's 12:13, the gusts are still going to be strong. Maybe some areas trying to get near 80 miles per hour up into the mountains, but the strongest winds were occurring this morning into the late morning. Now, still, the main areas we're concerned about are South I-25 corridor, the Wet Mountains, the Wet Mountain Valley, and the Sangre de Cristos. So let's go ahead and dig in to see what's happening right now. From Colorado Springs, Pueblo to Walsenburg, the winds are kind of gusting anywhere from about 40 to 50 miles per hour. But the worst winds through the morning have been south of Pueblo. From Colorado City, south through Walsenburg, and Trinidad at the moment is still a pretty good gusty sensor, as is some of the corridor out into the eastern plains. A jet streak, a piece of the jet stream way up above us with an extra strong piece of wind is moving across Colorado, and that is just tumbling down the mountains and the valleys. And so while it's not as windy in Canyon City or Teller County as it is through Alamosa, the west edge of the Wet Mountain Valley in Levita, it's still fairly windy everywhere. You probably have noticed that if you've been outside so far this morning. From noon through 3 o'clock, not a whole lot changes. We keep Colorado Springs in Pueblo in the 40 to 50 mile per hour range. Walsenburg, Rye, Levita, Trinidad are kind of somewhere between 40 to 70 miles per hour for the gust potential. It's going to be hard to get above 65 through the next few hours. But then by the end of the day, the winds actually start to relax, starting first in the Denver metro area and then kind of pulling back through the whole region. So it'll be windiest from now through 4 o'clock, and then after 4 or 5 o'clock, the winds do start to get a little less gradually windy. We are seeing red flag warnings extend all the way out through 8 o'clock, but it's like we said, through time into the end of the day, the winds continuously start to get a lot weaker. So here's what's going on, everybody. Fremont County and then down through Custer County, we have got snow lofting out of the mountains and through the Wet Mountain Valley. Now, at times there's a little rain and sprinkle activity trying to blow down to the lower elevations. But what's going on here is we're so dry with that dry wind coming off the mountain, a lot of this stuff is not hitting the ground. But we had seen snow over towards Teller County, and we're probably seeing some snow out through Custer County into the Wet Mountain Valley. Now, as your Super 7-day forecast, our big story was today in that wind. We know the winds will gradually taper off tonight, but there will be a wind chill effect. Tomorrow, Wednesday, will be in the 40s. We will warm going into the weekend, and then on Sunday, we could be back to 70 degrees. But I do think the fire danger will start to really increase going through the weekend. Pueblo, windy. It's been windy all morning. It's still windy. Your fire danger is high. Dust is blowing around. We're in the 70s out through the end of the week and into the weekend, and fire danger will make a return. Looking pretty dry other than some isolated showers that we're trying to blow off in Canyon City today, but then we're dry through the rest of the week. We do have 70s over the weekend. And Woodland Park, seen some snow out through Teller County, and there could be a stray flurry tomorrow morning, but I do feel like we're generally drying out, and we are trying to see some 60s like everybody else over the weekend, and fire danger does come back.